Did you know the spear can be used as a redstone component? This is technology that was recently discovered and then completely forgotten about. So today I rediscovered this newly forgotten technology. This is genuinely so cool. So let's sit back in Minecraft. It feels very good to be back here on my creative testing world. Now, over on my Discord, I got sent a video from Harold the Oven, who is a member on our Discord community. You should definitely join it if you're not on there already. But it was a video by the YouTuber Wibbyt, who managed to turn a spear into a redstone component, which is so cool. Now, unfortunately, the video has since been privated, so we need to try and rediscover this forgotten technology, which is going to be a challenge, but it's going to be a fun one. So if we get ourselves a spear, and we probably get a pressure plate as well, and some redstone dust and repeaters, if we were to place an armor stand there and then a pressure plate, you'll see it gets activated. And then I believe the whole premise of spear stone, I think it should be called because that's got a really nice ring to it, is if you were to hit this guy, he jumps up, which then turns off the pressure plate, which activates kind of like a switch. Now sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, which is a bit weird. So we need to try and figure that out as well. But you kind of understand what I'm going for. Now again, I just want to reiterate, I'm not the one discovering this, I'm essentially rediscovering it. I don't want the credit, although I've got no idea what was actually done in that video, I'm rediscovering it. So let's get ourselves kind of like a chamber for our armor stand to just sit in, and if we place our armor stand there, get our pressure plate, it's activated. Now part of what was in Wibbyt's video is the fact that you can hit this guy through walls if you place them right. You see, if we turn on the hitboxes, that's not the hitboxes, there we go, you can see the white outline. Anything in that white outline is where we're going to hit the armor stand. So you can see I'm going to move my crosshair out and the little sword disappears and now it's back, which means we can hit the armor stand. Now, the hitbox is just below the block, so we want to try and raise this guy ever so slightly up where we can hit him through the solid oak floor, or solid spruce floor, and it's totally hidden, totally secret. And I'm so hoping that if we just get a piston and then place the spruce planks there, I really hope this is going to work. Now, we can't see the armor stand's hitbox, which means, yeah, we can't do anything. That's really annoying. So we need to try and raise this guy up ever so slightly, which shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, surely all we'll need is if we get probably, I think, a trapdoor. That could be fine. And then we've placed the guy in between both of these. So, oh wait. Okay, hold on. Is this going to really... Because right now he's way too high up. You can see the top of him. Let me try and knock that guy over. And now he's going to activate the trapdoor as well. Okay, maybe something different. Maybe if we instead use string and then tripwire, so that way we can kind of have him jump up and then that will deactivate the string. I think that will work. So it's activated just now. It definitely works like that. But again, we've still got that problem where the hitbox is below the top of the block. We need that above so we can actually reach this guy. And because of the string, we can't really have anything that will raise him up. I mean, we could... Wait a second. We could now get the trapdoor, place that there, and then surround it like this. We then slide this guy over slightly so he just activates the string, but he's not. Is he? No, he's not. Even though he's in the right spot, he's still not activating it. That's so annoying. Oh, this is going to be so difficult. I think this string is probably a no-go. There's no point even trying the string again, because, yeah. You know what? Let's try and get this guy in the right position rather than focusing on the redstone. Again, like I've been saying, we want this guy's hitbox to be ever so slightly above the spruce planks, which right now it's not. So we need something, again, we tried trapdoors, that didn't really work. Oh, it did, but they're slightly too high because we don't want to see any of the armor stand, which means we could possibly try the carpets. See if that makes a difference. Is that going to work? I mean, it is definitely above the hitbox, which is really good. Did we just get that first try? I mean, I think that is definitely going to work. We could probably also... Maybe a flower pot's too big. Maybe some of these small amethyst crystals, that could probably work as well. In fact, no, that's way too high as well. So it's looking like carpet is the way to go. Okay. And again, if we just get some pistons in here, activate that once and then activate that one again, we can see the top of the armor stand, which means, look at that. We can hit it through the floor. You've got no idea that this is down here unless you possibly move your crosshair so it's in line with that. Look at that. That's so cool. But again, we've still got the problem. We can't really... Well, wait a second. If we were to get a pressure plate and place that there, is that going to activate? No, it doesn't. That's so annoying. Oh, that is so annoying. So we're still not out of the woods yet. I thought that could have been us done. But no, it doesn't activate the pressure plate at all. That's so bad. Okay, now I want to try and revisit this string again. Now, I know it didn't work the first time, but we do that. And then we get an observer. And we can place that there. Is this going to work? No, that's not working either. That's really annoying. And you know what? In fact, no wonder it's not going to work. Because the armor stand is it might be inside this block right here, but it's not inside this one, which means we need to try and nudge the armor stand over slightly. So why don't we instead just ever so slightly knock the armor stand like that? Yeah, look at that. Okay, cool. So we want them in between both. Perfect. We then get ourselves our pistons in place as well, and then activate them up. And now because it's in between these two blocks, essentially to the armor stand, it could pass through these two blocks, which means if we were to go into survival mode, activate this guy, look at that, we've done it. The only problem is it keeps getting knocked over there, and after a few more attempts, it's probably, yeah, it's now no longer gonna work. So it's not quite 100%, but we are getting there. That was a working prototype. So I'm looking at this right now. We need an armor stand to be locked in place between these two blocks, and I think we could probably just do that probably with just a fence kind of there, and then we could probably do the same with maybe a fence gate. And just so it looks nice, let's get some spruce fence gates there. And now hopefully if we were to get ourselves an armor stand, and we can't place it on that apparently, okay, and now using our pistons we can then push this guy over. That's not quite right. In fact, we'll use a fence for that. Drop our guy down. Piston, nearly. We need a block in there. There we go. Perfect. So it's now in line. And then with our spear, we can essentially knock this guy around, and he's kind of working. I mean, look at that. It does actually work really well. And then we knock him this way. Is it still going to work? No, that's slightly too... Oh, kind of. We could just replace that with a wall. So we just break that, get ourselves a wall, because they've got a much bigger hitbox. And now look at that. That's consistently working. And then we just fill this back in. There's now a problem because look at that. I mean, that is a really, really ugly floor, but we could just get ourselves some carpets. And so hopefully the carpets, we can't place them there. We're going to have to try and push them using pistons, which is fine. Look at that. Now we can just... Where's the hitbox for the armor stand? Can we not? You're kidding me on. It's now slightly too short for carpets. Oh, man. I can't believe that. I thought we'd managed it. This is so tricky. So we need to try and raise this guy up even higher. And I'm thinking you could probably, for that, maybe use snow layers? This might be wishful thinking, but if we try and get some snow layers like that and maybe drop this guy in now, is that going to work? No, he's just going to sink in. Maybe one more layer. And I think he is slightly higher up. I think that hitbox, yeah, that hitbox is definitely above the carpets. So let's try and move this guy over. So now he is between the two blocks. We now need to get our wall back in place and then back with our spruce planks as well. And I'm really hoping this is going to work. I mean, it's not really... Oh, it is activating. Okay. Good. I mean, it's not really consistent. Can we knock it over this way? So we do need to account for that. But if we get our carpets back in place, we can then cover it back up. And look at that. You can still see the hitbox. And we should... Oh, that's not good. I don't even think of that. I mean, is that even working? I mean, it is working, which is great. Not very consistently, but it is working. But you can just... You can float on the carpet. That's so... Man, this is so tricky. I will say I am having a lot of fun with this, so it is fun rediscovering technology, but these blocks have got to go. I will just very quickly thank the channel members for supporting me directly. That is so very, very much appreciated. I mean, it really does help a lot. I'd love to get some feedback on the channel memberships, because right now it's purely just for supporting me. But if there's anything that you guys would like, then please just let me know, because I'd love to hear it and improve the channel memberships. I've placed some chains down, and I'm thinking this will work. Yeah, that definitely works. Really well, actually. Well, kind of partly well. But again, we can knock it that way, which will now stop it from working, which is not what we want. So maybe instead... Why don't we break this and then replace it? I'm thinking with some iron bars, but that's actually the exact same size-wise as the chain. So we need something slightly bigger, which doesn't poke through carpet. Do we have such a block? We could try the happy ghast, or the dried ghast, rather. Is that going to work? Oh, that looks like it could work really well, but there is particles, which I don't like. We could definitely try an anvil, or maybe a grindstone. Is that going to work like that? Oh, okay, maybe not. Let's try it with the grindstone. That's not going to... Oh, look at that. That actually looks perfect. Yeah, look at that. It is working consistently, and we can't knock it this way either, which means it's going to work in any direction. That is brilliant. That is so good. Which also means if we were to try and just extend this out ever so slightly further, and then expand the carpet as well, turn off the hitboxes, and now you can see this lovely carpet. No idea anything that's here, because you can walk anywhere, and then with a spear, this one specific spot on the carpet... Look at that. That is so cool. Totally, entirely secret. That is amazing. So let's get ourselves some tough bricks. Let's just make all this just tough. And then same with up here as well. And now I'm thinking we'll go for probably expanding this by 1 block, making this bigger. And then we just make a jeb door, which I think I remember how to make. I'm pretty sure, if memory serves right, it's just blocks there, like this. Maybe that's, no, in fact, that's way too short. We'll go back by 1. Redstone is really not my forte. I much prefer working with vibrant visuals. But if we were to get some tough bricks in there, and then I think it's as simple as just running redstone along the top with a couple of repeaters, I think there and there. We can now run a redstone line that goes like this, all the way back down to this observer with a torch, and then that will close entirely flat. And now into survival, we can then hit our secret armor stand. And it's not working. Why not? What have I done wrong? Maybe there needs to be a little bit of a delay, and then in fact we might as well run it into a pulse extender as well whilst we're here. Now I believe if we just stand in our room with no visible redstone, no visible doors, hit this one spot in the carpet with no visible redstone, the door will then open up. That is so cool. And then it just shuts right behind us. Now, again, like I said, there is no visible redstone. You have no idea what is going on underneath this carpet. That is so cool. And again, I'll just show this off just to show how simple it really is. That is all you need. That is all the redstone components. That is nothing. Now, of course, I didn't discover spearstone. I just got the idea from Wibbyt. I've got no idea what they did. I'd love to see their video unprivated. But there's a link to their channel in the description. If you think you can make something cool using this system, then please show it off in the Discord. There's a link to join in the description. Thank you very much for watching. It really is appreciated.